In my previous video, I spoke of Hirohiko Araki's Magic Boy BT, so this video will feature his next series being Baoh The Visitor. Like BT, Baoh debuted in Weekly Shonen Jump in 1984, which ran for 9 chapters. This series also marks as one of the earliest licensed works of Hirohiko Araki. In fact, Viz Media released Baoh in comic book format during the 1990s, a whole decade before Viz started to release JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. In 1995, Baoh The Visitor was re-released in the United States in a 2-volume manga format, but here's a catch. Back then, when certain manga were released into English or American-speaking countries, the images were often reversed, forcing the manga to be read from left to right. Both the single issues and the volumes are presented in this left-to-right format. Even the online scans on manga sites are directly from the Viz Media release. Unfortunately, Baoh The Visitor is currently an out-of-print manga, but seeing how JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is reaching a mainstream status with its DVD and manga releases, there may be some hope to rescuing this series. On a similar note, Baoh also received an OVA adaptation by Studio Pierrot, and was licensed by Animego, but like the manga, the Baoh DVD is out of print. So enough background information, and on to the science fiction story of Baoh The Visitor. An organization named Judas is researching weaponry for the goal of global conquest, with a professor named Hazy Eye creating the parasite known as Baoh, a new experimental life form capable of being the next military power. The story begins when a girl named Violet escapes from Judas, freeing a boy in the process. That boy is named Ikuro, and had been implanted with a Baoh parasite. Judas then sends an assassin team to eliminate Ikuro, as he is too dangerous to be left in the wild. Violet possesses supernatural powers similar to an Esper, allowing her to gain warnings of danger. These two are basically on the run from Judas, but Ikuro's gradual transformation into Baoh will be their only salvation from the various enemies from Judas. Araki's art style changes a bit from his work in BT. Most of the character designs are less cartoony, but also features his trait of violent imagery. Many enemies are turned into melted blobs of flesh or are torn asunder from combat. The tone of BT was dark, but Baoh takes the dark atmosphere to another level due to its monstrous characters and the creative imagination towards the science fiction. Essentially, Baoh is a sci-fi horror but also carries the feel of being a superhero story or something out of tokusatsu. Much of this is due to the narrator explaining various details about Baoh's anatomy and biology, but the dialogue itself can be a bit over the top, but it works. Not to mention, Araki's stable of having his characters constantly pose adds to the superhero flair of the manga. The only criticism I have about the Baoh manga are some pages of dialogue spoken by the narrator. For some reason, I just don't like it when a narrator is describing a character's feelings, when the character can speak its own emotions in either dialogue or by facial expressions alone. I feel narration affects the mood of the manga, especially when creating either suspense, horror, or any other tone. Take this page for example, in which the narrator says exactly what we're seeing, so it feels like it's stating the obvious. Scenes such as this can work without dialogue. For example, here's how I think the scene should be. That's how you create a mysterious atmosphere, and the dialogue really ruins the mood. Personally, that's the only complaint I have with the manga, especially when actual dialogue and the narration tend to clash with each other when it comes off as annoying to me. The story as a whole is good and exciting, and is definitely something that should be read in one sitting. It's a bit over the top, but it has a serious tone throughout the story, unlike the humorous parts of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, which is why I appreciate this dark yet short manga. So to end this review, is a recommendation similar to Baoh being Guyver the Bio-Boosted Armor. Both stories are about organizations seeking global domination through scientific-based weapons and experiments. Both main characters, Ikuro and Sho Fukumachi, have been merged with another living creature, such as the Baoh parasite and the G-Unit. Another comparison is both Guyver and Baoh attack with skin sabers or arm blades, yet Baoh actually predates Guyver by a whole year. In summary, Guyver offers more insight on the creation of the world and its enemies, the Zoonoids, along with various battles and characters. Despite being so short, Baoh delivers in a standalone action story filled with gritty content and a few panels of manliness. Its stylish science fiction is what makes Baoh succeed as a compact manga, eventually paving the way for Araki's gory horror in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I'm the manly anime hero and I review manga so you can read it.